The war is over. At the old hotel, the .50 caliber in the tower next door is wrapped up and attended by one sleepy guard. The main enemy today is not the soldiers, guerrillas, fighters, and suicide bombers of the LTTE, but the black crows who hover ominously over the breakfast buffet on the veranda. A man with a slingshot patrols the lawn, driving them away with an occasional shot. Colombo, capital city of Sri Lanka. Unlike the last time I came here nearly a decade ago, this South Asian island nation of 20 million does not feel on lockdown. There are no longer the military checkpoints and heavy equipment, sandbags, or barbed wire in between the airport and the center of town. There's a new democratically elected government voted in by a coalition of former adversaries. Everywhere you look, construction, expansion, new hotels, foreign money, something that looks a lot like hope. Hundreds of thousands of dead and missing later, the country is at peace and we can go where we want. Hopefully, people will be able to talk about their lives. Last time, they couldn't.
So this is the golf base green. It used to be a place for the English families to come and hang out on Sundays. And it was also the home of the first golf course in Sri Lanka. So this is our Central Park.
Ah.
Oh, very good.
What are we eating today, by the way? What's good here?
So this is all Sri Lankan street food. All these kitchens are run by Muslims, so there's no pork dishes here. A lot of seafood.
Darshan runs several popular Colombo restaurants, including the Ministry of Crab. And when not catering to the needs of his customers, he enjoys simpler fare. So what distinguishes between Sri Lankan cuisine and India?
I think our curries are lighter, and I think it's the access to seafood. Like if you look at Mumbai, it's 20 million people.
Right.
The oceans are under pressure. Here it's still clean. We can have access to great seafood anytime.
When did the war get bad?
It got really bad, I think, in 2005 onwards. It was really bad.
Yeah, we were last here in 2008. I mean, just to get to the hotel, I remember, from the airport, we had to go through one security cordon after another.
I mean, during those times, we had no idea when it was going to end. I've done business in this country and never knowing what a peaceful time to be.
How long have things been quiet?
Well, the war ended in 2009. It's been 8 years. I think it takes time for things to happen. Things have happened. The city's not overgrown. We're not overpopulated. Oceans are still clean.
Whatever the underlying problems were, do you think they are being addressed or will be addressed?
I think they are being addressed. Maybe a bit slow, but I think you'll find a difference. So the world has changed, and it's great to see stuff like this.
There was, honestly, such a culture of fear. An incredible amount of self-censorship. We had death squads. people, journalists, so many being disappeared. This kind of white van phenomenon where, you know, your loved ones were taken from you and you never heard from them again. There's still so many of those cases going on, and just a real feeling of fear.
From 1983 until 2009, Sri Lanka's bloody civil war divided the island in two, splitting the country along religious lines. Buddhist Sinhalese majority in the south versus Hindu Tamil minority in the north. Years of mistreatment and suppression led to the formation of the LTTE, or Liberation Tamil Tigers of Ilam, and their campaign to seek an independent state. The conflict ended in 2009, but an enormous number of internally displaced persons, or IDPs as they're referred to, remain in refugee camps.
Ladies and gentlemen, appearing now and before it is too late, the traveling circus of refugees.
Colombo native Tracy Hall Singer is the founder of Mind Adventures Theater Company. Not long ago, to even talk politics, let alone stage a play deemed controversial, could be dangerous.
The play that you've been doing, it came from a book, The Boy Who
Speaks in Numbers by Mike Maslamani. It was first performed in November 2009.
No, controversial, would you say?
Little. The play is about internally displaced people. After the end of the war, we had over 300,000 people in camps. The largest one of them was built to house 100,000 people, but ended up housing 227,000 people. Tents that were designed for maybe 5 people to be in had 10 to 15 people in them. There were no toilets in the camp. There were just these big pits. Living conditions for these people was intolerable. There are some communities, Anthony, in this country that have been displaced for 25 years. That means since the 80s, they haven't had a home.
Hurry up! Don't waste my time. What's in the bag?
It's just some clothes, madam.
Can't take anything inside the camp. Search this. Hurry up, next!
The play was staged at a time when all this was so raw for us. And there is no way to speak directly about what happened. I think it's still very difficult, not just for us, but for people to acknowledge that these terrible things were done to part of our community and our people.
Was this a perilous thing to do, and how was it received at the time?
You know, I didn't think about whether it was perilous or not, and that's probably bad on me because I involved all these other people.
That scene is done, we're moving on.
For me, the important thing was making sure that in whatever form it got out there, the play's out there and it reminds people that this happened.
We found the person responsible for trying to poison the minds of all you good people with these lies. She was sleeping amongst you, living amongst you. And there are many others like her. Let this be a lesson to you all. This is how we deal with traitors. Take her away.
No! No!
So, are things getting better?
I would say in one sense, we're not so afraid. You're not afraid to speak out. But also, I wouldn't say everything is wonderful. It's not. I think things are slowly being pushed, but it's too slow.
So, 20 years from now, are you optimistic, pessimistic? What do you think?
Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon, was once the crown jewel of the spice trade. Its cloves, cardamom, pepper, nutmeg, mace, ginger, cinnamon, chilies, and curry, the envy of the world. These spices built empires.
Wow.
This is basically chicken curry.
Ah, very nice.
And then you have a potato that is spicy.
Right.
Then you have the beetroot. And this is one of the traditional sambos of Sri Lanka.
Right.
Kumar Lopez is a Tamil who works for the Sri Lankan Press Institute. We sit down for lunch at a local rice and curry joint.
So last time I was here was 9 years ago. Things have changed a lot.
I think, yes. I think the fact that we are able to eat today without even thinking that there could be a bomb that could go off at any moment.
Right.
It's itself a bigger piece that you could expect for. But I believe that the piece can go to another stage, another level. In the mindset of those who have been impacted by the war, I think there needs to be further work to be done.
After World War II, the British left Sri Lanka. Over time, the Buddhist Sinhalese majority both excluded and repressed the mostly Hindu Tamil minority, channeling populist fervor to turn discrimination into law.
What is the generally accepted underlying reasons for the conflict in the first place?
The main cause or the main objective was to have a separate land for the Tamils. The underlying reason for that being there were discrimination, there were racism, and that basically brought them to this stage.
By 1983, the situation reached its boiling point. The LTTE began waging what would become a 25-year guerrilla war before government forces crushed them in a brutal final offensive.
I mean, the war was won militarily. Is everybody speaking now?
I think the underlying objective of the present government is definitely to bring about lasting peace. They have actually encouraged some of the business entities to go and invest in the north to give job opportunities. So peace is something that everybody is looking for.
So I'll be taking the train to Jaffna shortly. This is a big deal.
Oh, it was not running probably for the last 30 years.
Whoa, hasn't been running for 30 years.
It may not be running for at least the minimum 20 years.
Because of the conflict.
Because of the conflict.
Wow.
With the war over, Sri Lankans can now travel freely across their country, all the way north to Jaffna. Last time, we couldn't go there. Today, we will. Early morning, Colombo Station. The platforms bustle with a mix of commuters, long-distance travelers, and the occasional tourist. Breaking free from Colombo's gravitational pull, the landscape opens up. Second and third class compartments host a mix of people, smells, and slices of life. Commuters get on at one station, off at another. Others, like me, are in for the long haul, 10 hours to Jaffna. That the Jaffna queen runs at all is a symbolic move towards reunification. As the fight for an independent Tamil state in Sri Lanka's north intensified, the LTTE destroyed these tracks. For the last 2 decades of the war, Jaffna was all but cut off from the rest of the world. The LTTE, unable to match the military might of the Sri Lankan army, fought their war by other means, every means they deemed necessary. Acts of terrorism, suicide bombings, political assassinations brought government retaliation, and collective punishment of an equally terrible kind, and enormous in scale. The North suffered massive bombardments of civilian areas. Hundreds of thousands of Tamils ended up in refugee camps. By the time it was over, war crimes had been committed on both sides, those caught in the middle paying the ultimate toll. In the final weeks alone, at least 40,000 people were killed in a war the outside world knew little of. Nearing the end of the line, weary passengers await to find themselves in a different world. Out the window, the air is thick with the smell of salt and sea. Jaffna is about as far north as you can go without hitting India. This is the homeland of Sri Lanka's Tamil ethnic minority, and during the Civil War, base of the LTTE Tamil Tigers. Remnants of the conflict are hard to miss. But on any given day, down by the coast, the fish market buzzes, a hive of activity and commerce. Fresh product comes in, deals are made, money changes hands, life goes on.
Initially, before the war, the North and East contributed 40% of the GDP.
And now?
3%. So there were so many industries here, everything was destroyed. There was no electricity for a long time. We had a coconut farm here, about 100 acres, and it was completely destroyed during the war. There is not even a single tree without a bullet hole.
Like many Sri Lankan Tamils, Jana was born here, but with considerable regret, spent much of his life abroad.
Yeah, I mean, the fighting has stopped.
Absolutely, I mean, that's true.
What's changed?
A lot of things have been rebuilt. Slowly now they are focusing on rebuilding infrastructure. They are renovating all these ponds and lagoons, and now slowly business is thriving in this part of the country.
The underlying discontent, the given reasons for the war, is there a sense that those problems are being addressed?
The war was very brutal, and people, after 30 years, everybody is tired of war. we have a very affected population. There are about 30,000 war widows, like close to 25,000 orphan children, about 15,000 people who were landmine victims. From the government side, they are still a bit scared that there may be war popping up again. But slowly now they are addressing issues like employment-wise, opportunities-wise, and there are a lot of occupied lands. Now they are slowly giving it back.
So hopeful.
Yeah, I see the progress. What I see here is the human resilience. Like, after going through this war for 30 years, how quickly people here can rebuild.
So what's happening today? First of all, where are we?
This is a Kali temple.
And Kali is?
Kali is a destroyer of evil. People go and pray and have Kali temples in villages because it destroys evil power.
Both good and bad.
Yes.
Protector?
Protector, destroyer.
And destroyer.
Yes. Because Kali is also known for courage and valor. Like when people go to war and things like that, they go and pray to Kali to give them the confidence and the courage to go and fight.
After decades of cultural suppression, Tamils take great pride in their customs, traditions, and religious festivals. Around here, the Madai festival is the most auspicious day of the year for Hindus to balance their spiritual debts. Believers show devotion through suffering, enduring acts of great pain and hardship called cavities, or the burden dance. Cavities can take many forms. You can make a pilgrimage to the main temple on shoes made of nails, or roll there on the ground, often for a distance of several kilometers. These are some of the ways believers express gratitude to Kali or implore her for help. Ritualistic body piercing is another such expression.
It's a very interesting thing. They prepare for a long time. 28 days they fast, and they condition themselves mentally. And when they come to the temple, and there's a special ceremony which takes place, and they kind of chant and play drums and everything, so you get into a trance.
The greater the pain, the greater your dedication to your higher power. Well, let's just say viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah.
Is that how this ends? That's the story now.
It's a little depressing, no?
How about a message of hope? Yes. Yes.
All right.
don't want to
let's
mislead
talk
people.
about it. Let's talk about it. Okay.
Right. And then one day, the civil war of lies came to an abrupt end.
Harsh question.
Yeah.
Why should Americans watching this? Why should we give a shit? Why should people care about Sri Lanka?
I guess I don't know why Americans should care. I just want Sri Lankans to care. The story has to go on, and for it to go on, we have to have some hope. Citizens were asked for what they most desired. And that is how peace came to the island of short memories. The warring parties fast realized that it didn't matter who won or who lost, because in the end, they were all on the same side.